In a quiet little town by the sea lived Flavio, a humble fisherman. From a young age, Flavio had followed the footsteps of his father and grandfather, dedicating himself to the fishing trade. He spent his days out on the open sea, facing waves, storms, and the scorching heat of the sun. His life was simple but quiet. He had a boat, a modest house in the village, and a loving wife, Clara, who waited for him every day with a warm smile and a hot meal. Flavio, however, felt trapped in a dull routine. Although he had everything to be happy, he carried in his chest and discomfort, a dissatisfaction that he could not explain. Every day, returning from the sea, Flavio watched the tourists who came from far away to enjoy the beauties of his city. They stayed in luxurious hotels, dined in expensive restaurants, and enjoyed a life that Flavio thought unattainable. He did not envy exactly what they had, but wondered why his own life seemed so dull and without purpose. "I work hard every day, and yet it seems that I never have enough," he thought as he pulled the heavy nets back onto the boat. One night, after another day of fishing without success, Flavio sat on the beach, looking at the horizon. The sky was painted with vibrant colors of sunset, but he could not see the beauty in front of him. It was when his old friend Miguel, a retired fisherman, came up and sat down next to him. Miguel, always smiling, carried on his face the marks of a life of hard work, but his eyes shone with a serenity that Flavio never understood. Flavio talked to Miguel about his emptiness and dissatisfaction. "I have the impression that my life leads nowhere, Miguel. I fish, come home, eat and sleep. And tomorrow, all again. Where's the joy in that?" Michael listened patiently, shaking his head as Flavio spoke. When the young man finished, Michael smiled and said, "Flavio, have you ever stopped to notice the good things that are around you?" Michael told Flavio about a ritual he had many years ago. Every morning as he went out to sea, he would pause to thank him for the opportunity to live another day, for the boat that still took him to the sea, for the nets that still helped him to fish, and for the simple fact that he could feel the breeze on his face. "Gratitude is like an anchor, Flavio," said Michael. "It keeps us stable even when the waves of life are strong." Intrigued, Flavio decided to try the advice of Michael. The next day, when he woke up, he stopped for a moment before going out to sea. He looked at his house and at Clara, who was still sleeping peacefully, and felt a warmth in his heart. He whispered a thank you as he left. In the days that followed, Flavio began to notice small things that had previously gone unnoticed. The soft sound of waves, the graceful flight of seagulls, the smile of children playing on the beach. He began to write down these small blessings in a notebook, which Michael had given him as a gift. Over time, Flavio noticed that his view of the world was changing. Dissatisfaction gave way to a genuine appreciation for the simple things in life. He realized that his work, which before seemed like a hard task, was now an opportunity to connect with the sea he loved so much. He began to smile more, talk more with the other fishermen, and share his new habit of gratitude with everyone he knew. One day, after a good fishing trip, Flavio went to the market to sell his fish. There, he met a tourist who was having trouble communicating with local vendors. Flavio, who spoke a little of the language of the tourist, helped him with a purchase. In gratitude, the tourist offered him a small sum, but Flavio refused, saying that what he did was out of pure kindness. The tourist, impressed by Flavio's generosity, asked if he could tell more about the city and the way of life of the fishermen. Flavio took the tourist to see his house, introduced Clara, and showed him how simple life could be full of beauty. The tourist, moved, said that the trip had changed his perspective on what really matters in life. He took a picture of Flavio and Clara and promised to send it to a magazine that wrote about inspiring lives around the world. Weeks later, Flavio's photo appeared in a renowned magazine with a story about the power of gratitude and the beauty of simplicity. The small town of Flavio began to attract visitors who were not looking for luxury, but a way of life that valued the essential. Flavio has become a living example of how gratitude can transform not only one life, but also an entire community. Flavio learned that true happiness did not come from having more, but from valuing what one already had. And so he continued his journey, every day more grateful, more serene, and more aware that life is made of moments that must be enjoyed. Michael's lesson was the anchor that kept him steady, even in the most difficult storms, and Flavio knew he had found the peace he always sought. We learned from this story that gratitude can transform our worldview. No matter what we have or where we are, it is possible to find beauty in the little things of life, and by doing so we discover that true wealth is in our hearts. Hope you enjoyed this story. Share with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Resilience and Faith, and activate the bell so you don't miss any story. Until the next.